We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Action Comics number 536. This is from the original 1938 series, and this issue came out right around 1982. Plotted by Marv Wolfman, written by Paul Kupperberg. Joe Staton did pencils. Sal Trapani did the inks. Ben Oda letters. Gene D'Angelo did the colors, and Julius Schwartz editor. So the Mole has Superman captive, and he is taking him to this mysterious underground city they have as a base, and his goal is to auction off Superman and effectively let the person that has the most powerful weapon kill Superman and then give the weapon to the Mole so the Mole can start a criminal enterprise and an empire of sorts. It's a bit of a silly idea, but it's fun. Meanwhile, the Omega Men and Lois Lane are trying to figure out how they can rescue Superman, and they are able to follow the trail only so far because the Mole's digging machine filled in the last several miles by itself, and it could take weeks for them to bust through, despite all their cool powers. So they have to go recruit an ally who wants nothing to do with helping them, and that's Cave Carson. And he's a curmudgeonly guy, and he only finally agrees because it is Superman. And the guy's still a jerk about it. Meanwhile, Superman has his own problems because a guy named the Hunter has this Omni-Wave blaster that he's planning on taking out Superman with. And that's when Superman's allies spring into action, and Superman gets a fighting chance. Now, the Omega Men storyline gets mostly wrapped up here. It does continue on with their guest appearance over in Teen Titans because there is a bit of a crossover with this at the end of the issue with Teen Titans 24. Now that is the new Teen Titans storyline where Blackfire has captured Starfire and the Omega Men go to help out in that storyline. That's the series that started as Tales of the New Teen Titans, and they make a guest appearance in issue 24. The storyline, however, started in issue 23. It's a four-part story. So the Omega Men get shuffled off to a different book to try and push their series that was coming out that year. I have no interest in that. So I'm glad they wrapped that storyline up, even though this issue is just part of a multi-part story involving the split personality of Superman, where somebody split him in two people. It was Lord Satanus. It happened a couple issues ago. And meanwhile, the other half of him is somewhere in the past, supposedly. We're going to find that out next issue, what exactly happened to that half of Superman, because the other half of his power set is with that person, and they need to be rejoined so he can get all his cool powers back. Meanwhile, the backup story is Aquaman, written by Bob Rozakis, pencils by Alex Saviuk, inks by Frank McLaughlin, letters by Ann Kaye, colors by Tatjana Wood, and Julius Schwartz editor. Aquaman's been having a nightmare about Mura screaming for help, and it's because she got separated from him back in Action Comics number 517. She had to be sent back to her dimension of Zebel, which in modern continuity, they've made that another colony of Atlantis that's on Earth. So it's just a faction, like a political faction of people that were kind of rebels. So that got kind of retconned. In this one, it's an alternate dimension, I guess. And he's been having these dreams, and he goes to help out the U.S. Navy with the project they're working on to try and communicate with animals. And he's hoping to learn from this, how he does it as well. So this guy from Star Labs has built this machine so they can talk to animals, and he realizes that maybe his dreams aren't just dreams. It may be some sort of telepathic communication because that's how he communicates with Mura. So this machine might be able to tell him the reality of it. But just as things are about to be resolved on that front, the top layer of the ocean turns to ice, and Aquaman has to go rescue a diver, and we get a bizarre twist ending that may be part of the issue with what's going on with him. So an interesting story that's worthy of a good backup. Much better written than the Airwave stories that we were getting, except for that last one was pretty good. But this is an interesting story that could have been its own issue of Adventure Comics. But I enjoyed both stories quite a bit. I thought they were fun, very action-packed, decent art, and that's really about all you could ask for. And even though this issue is part of a multi-part story for both, it was pretty well put together. The Superman story had a beginning, middle, and end, although it did relate to the meta-narrative and did continue from last issue. You didn't need to read last issue to know what's going on. They fill you in quite well. And the Aquaman story did a good job as well with that. And the caption boxes did fill you in on anything you missed, which was nice. So I'm looking forward to reading the next installment of both storylines. So I'm going to recommend this. I thought it was fun, and you can enjoy this as a standalone issue pretty well. The cover's not that inspiring. It's a little boring, but that just masks the fact that although the Omega Men are kind of New God knockoffs and kind of boring, this was a pretty good story. And it was better than last issue as far as their usefulness. All in all, I'm looking forward to the next issue. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.